Yeah, I don't know how Katie Day does it. Well, all the stuff she does keeps it straight.
I don't know either.
But for those of people out there joining in or going to tune into this video later on, my name is Ralph Tapia. I'm a mortgage guy here in Houston, Texas. But I do more than just mortgages. I like to say I'm more than a mortgage. I like to provide information on what's happening in Houston. I like to connect people. I like to connect realtors, investment lenders, commercial lenders, or even just buyer to buyer. Why not? I think in this social media world, when especially when you have stuff like this where you're having to work from home and social distance, it's always good to have people you can kind of connect with socially or digitally, I should say. And so today, my very first time I'm ever doing this, I have Miss Daniela Antelo with Keller Williams Metropolitan, correct?
No, Memorial.
Memorial. I always get those two mixed up, so I apologize. Danielle Keller Williams Metro Memorial. See, I did
Metro Memorial.
it.
Metroreal.
She has a small team here in Houston. They are one of the top producing teams here in the Houston market, if I'm not mistaken. They do quite a bit of volume. So Danielle, I'll let you kind of introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ralph. My name is Dani Antelo. I'm with Keller Williams Memorial. Yeah, I'm the team leader of the Houston broker team. And basically, we've been in the business since 2009. I started as an individual agent, and as of last year, I officially became a team.
Cool.
And I'm very interested in growing my team and taking a bigger market, taking on a bigger market. I have started doing a lot of branding lately, and I
Okay.
find that that's kind of where I am mostly happy in, just making videos and connecting with people and trying to see, find new ways to market the team
Yeah,
while
and
obviously still being in the business. I mean, I'm still working with sellers and buyers.
oh, for sure. Yeah, you're one of the few people that I personally know that the size of your team is what, 4 people strong, 5 people strong.
Actually, it's just four of us right now.
Okay, 4. Okay, so with a team of 4 people, I mean, y'all do quite a bit of volume, and it's kind of interesting to see. I mean, can you imagine starting if you're a realtor? Can you imagine starting in today's market? I mean, the challenges you would be facing right now. I mean, it's hard, right? I mean, real estate's hard as it is, and then add on top of that, you can't go anywhere and you can't meet people. It's like, what do you do? So I'm sure you feel the same way. Very fortunate that you're not starting right now, because there are some challenges. And now I'll be a little bit aware of time because I know you got to get running closer to 4:15. I'll try to. That's why I'm kind of talking a little fast right now. But really what I want to talk to you about, one, because we would typically maybe have this conversation in person, over coffee or over lunch or something. But, with all this COVID stuff happening, I pulled up my questions here on my phone. So excuse me a second. I just really wanted to ask you, like, as a realtor doing the volume that you and your team are doing, I mean, one, how is it affecting your day-to-day business? Are you doing more video calls? Are you basically, instead of like a face-to-face with Ashley, are you now calling her like at 10 a.m. every day? Like what kind of the new norm have you kind of had to go into?
Well, I feel like most of the time we're kind of victims of the system, and it's always this like go 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 mentality. Let's meet the next buyer. Let's meet the
Yeah.
next seller, and we're almost like, well, I'll speak for myself. I'm almost like by inertia doing all these things. So,
Yeah.
since the beginning of COVID-19, the first reaction was like shock, right? Like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And our title company is going to close, and are we going to get laid off? I mean, what's going to happen? So that was the first reaction from me. And then I said, you know what? We're all in this boat together. There's nothing I can do. This is time to accept my mortality. So I kind of like dug deeper into like I don't know, philosophical mindset. And I'm basically, Ralph, taking things one day at a time. And I find that that's what people need right now. I'm not going to call right now to shove a property down anyone's throat, because right now people are worried about daycare. I mean, you have a daughter, you're
Yeah.
upstairs. If I can be a resource for somebody to shoot the shit for a couple minutes because it's been so stressful and they don't know if they're going to have a job the next day, well, that's what I'm here before.
That's cool.
And I feel like as realtors, sometimes we're so caught up in the business, like, oh, it's about, we need to sell, we need to get to the closing table, but really this is a business of people.
Right.
And I've always said it since I started in the business. This is the reason why I got into real estate. So this is a time where I'm finding more connections with people than ever before. So while those connections are not necessarily going to equal a dollar sign or a closing right now, because we have lost deals, people are worried about their jobs. This is the time to nurture relationships.
Yeah.
Just being there for people. So my day right now looks very different. I'm obviously not out and about. I do have clients that are in Spain and New York, and we're doing virtual showings, and I'm getting them into rental properties and things like that.
That's cool.
Ashley's working a lot with buyers that we already have under contract. For sellers, we're doing 3D tours and things like that. But really, I'm focused on, hey, how are you? How's your day going? If I can help you, I'm here for you. I actually am offering for people that have lost their jobs due to COVID-19. I'm offering for now to list their homes for free at no cost, no gimmick, nothing. Just if you lost your job and you need to sell, we know that's already stressful enough. We'll handle it for free. Again, just be a support for your community, because when times are good, they're going to be great and you're going to close and it's going to be fantastic. But I think right now is when we really have to show our true colors and just be a little bit more aware of today. That
is amazing. You are one of the first people that I've heard even. That's a great idea. I mean, that is like the most selfless thing you can do as a realtor, because as you know, realtors live and die by that commission, and typically like coming out of the winter months, those are kind of like the thin months, if you will, for most people. And then to throw that, what you're, I mean, I'm going to, as soon as we're done with this thing, I'm going to share this video to, if you don't mind, I'm going to share this video to like, hey, look, this is the prime example of almost shop local. You know what I mean? Because you're saying, hey, all my clients, my meat and potatoes are here in Houston, and you know what? If I have to not take a commission on the sell of their home because they need to get out of it, that speaks volumes, Danny. That's awesome. That's really cool. That is cool. Now, with that said, have you lost any deals because of people getting furloughed or losing their jobs recently?
Yeah, definitely. We've lost about 5 deals.
Wow. Okay. It's tough. I've lost a couple deals myself due to people being furloughed, or even just being in the hospitality business. And they're like, I mean, well-qualified buyer, they're like, I'm just not working right now. So I can't even, I don't know. I can't even do a refinance if I wanted to. I'm like, man, that's unfortunate. But man, that's a big thing that you guys are doing or offering at least. That's cool. That's really good. Yeah. So about 5 deals you said. I mean, so are you kind of staying in front of them a little bit to say, hey, kind of like what you just said, like, hey, you lost were these listings or were they buyers?
Both.
Okay.
And you know how it is, Ralph. Like sometimes you won't close a deal right now, but they'll come back, or either they will buy later or they will send you a referral. I don't know. I'm not worried about it. I mean, I worry more for them because it sucks to lose your job and not be able to buy your dream house. Like I love my house, and that's something that I pride myself on. So not being able to do that or having to get rid of it because you lost your job, it's not easy. But I do think that things come back. So again, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm going into hippie land over here, but I just kind of like wake up, take a deep breath and just say, okay, may I be of service to someone today?
Yeah, no, that's the only attitude you can have these days, right? I mean, like you made a comment just a bit ago, something about I'm not going to let this be my mortality or something. I forget exactly what you said.
I'm going to get in touch with my mortality.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of what you have to do nowadays. I mean, even me, right? I feel like all I do, I was talking to my loan partner, Clint, and all I do is I wake up, I feed my baby girl, I try to keep her entertained, and I work and I go to sleep. And that's all I've been doing for about a month now. I mean, we get out, we take an afternoon drive, or, I'm big on taking her to parks, and while the park goes down, I can't even do that. So, I mean, she is just crazy right now. And you have to kind of accept your mortality. You're like, no, I'm not going to let this get me down. I got to dig through it. And that's all we can do. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's something really
nice about the coming down by force, because I don't think naturally we would be inclined to slow down.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I feel like right now, like I'm feeling a little bit less stressed. I'm feeling like I can see things a little bit more clearly. I'm enjoying the weather.
Yeah, I mean, and on top of all that, the weather is like perfect outside the past couple of days. Yesterday, I actually, because I have a motorized skateboard that I ride from time to time, and I was just like, I needed to get out of the house, so I actually went downtown and skateboarded downtown. I mean, there was I went through like 10, 12 blocks where I was in the middle of the street riding my skateboard. There was no cars, but there were a lot of people outside riding their bikes, running, taking pictures. And I'm like, you know what? When's the next time I'm going to be able to do something like this? Probably never. So I fully took advantage of that just to change up just to appreciate, hey, it's a beautiful day outside. Even though we're, work sucks, so to speak, or we're too busy, or I think I'm very fortunate just to have, the refi business coming in, but the purchase business has gone almost to zero right now, at least for me. So it's just like, you got to find the little things in life that kind of make you smile or just kind of get your heart rate going a little bit, So,
Yeah.
well, that's cool to hear. I mean, it's cool to hear that you are kind of, it's like, we're not the only ones in the boat. Like, there are other people's in the same boat, and you just got to kind of push through it. That's cool. Now, my big questions. I know you're a big foodie. I wrote these things down. What restaurants do you miss the most during all this stuff?
Oh my God. Well, luckily there's still restaurants open for takeout.
Right, for takeout. Yeah.
And things like that. So we haven't been eating out a lot this past couple of weeks because, I don't know.
All I do is eat right now, by the way. It's like,
to save, but also just be, careful about where we're going. But we do pick up our tacos from Tacos A Go-Go, which is our local spot in Oak Forest. So yeah, we've been supportive to them. Good. I also have some people that I go for certain things. Like I have my ladies from Nadira Group. They make cakes and cookies and things like that. So I order from them, and I'm also ordering for my clients. I've been sending them like cookies and things like that.
Cool.
I personally miss Uchi Happy Hour. I love happy hour.
Well, as soon as we get out of this, we're going to, I've never been to Uchi. I mean, as much as I eat around Montrose and all that stuff, I live and work in Montrose. I have yet to go to Uchi, believe it or not.
Okay.
So
you, Ralph.
Happy hour.
I mean, I mostly miss the environment, like getting together with friends. Boheme is going to be one of the first places that I hit up as soon as this is over. And where else am I going to go? Honestly, Chinatown. So I used to go to Chinatown like once a week. Yeah. Tiger Den and get a massage. And then I haven't obviously done that for like 4 weeks. So right. Like let me show you my food. Look at this thing. It's bad, Ralph.
Those are claws right there.
It's bad. So it's out there because I'm sure a lot of people are.
A lot of people are in the same, but I've seen people's like girls' nails, and their nails are like, halfway off and whatnot.
It's bad.
Like, everyone's true colors are definitely coming through during this thing. That's funny. Well, I took advantage of Nancy's Hustle. They had like their burger. You and I have been there.
Yeah.
They had their burger to go, and I yesterday, as I was skating around town, I went a little outside of downtown, and I rode past in Edo, Nancy's Hustle, and they were actually shut down. So they were, I guess, open for a couple of weeks, and then after so much, they decided to shut down. And I don't think they're doing anything. It's just so sad to see that, because there's so many good spots like Frank's Backyard. It's also downtown. They shut down within the first week. A good outdoor spot for a lot of the downtown residents. It's like, if that doesn't send a message that we need to start really focusing, in my opinion, on just local, not only eateries, but local businesses, whether it's a realtor, versus an online realtor, if you will, or even a local lender versus an online lender. I think a lot of people don't realize that when they do that, yeah, okay, they may save a couple bucks, but when you get to stuff like this, you're actually sending revenue and to another city, right? Supporting that city when you are shopping online, you know, like even like I do a lot of camera stuff. There's a camera right over here somewhere. I don't know if you can see it on the thing, but you know, it's like what I typically do is I can go to Amazon and I can buy something. I'll make up a price, a tripod for $100, right? But if I go down to Houston Camera Exchange, I may pay 140, you know, and I'm like, you know what? Is that $40? Yeah, it sucks to pay for $40 more, but you know what? Maybe the first tripod I get, I'll buy at Houston Camera Exchange, and then maybe the second one, maybe then I go that online. You know, kind of split it up because yeah, I can't just throw away money, obviously. But I think a lot of people, if this doesn't send a message that hey, look at all these businesses that are closing down, like we got to do something. Whether it's go to a local coffee shop versus Starbucks, you know, they're both local, so to speak, but at the end of the day, Starbucks is going to roll into a major conglomerate versus like, you know, Siphon Coffee or Mercantile Exchange in Montrose, you know? So,
I agree.
So that's when you mentioned that you were, you know, doing that for listings. If someone did, you know, lose their job and you're like, you know what, I don't need this commission.
Yeah, Redfin, I want to see you doing that.
Oh, boom. Shots fired. No.
Hello. I closed the door.
I think, I mean, yeah, if you're a realtor and you were, you know, like, oh, I'm going to go the online route. Yeah, maybe longer term, that's a you know, piece of the pie. Maybe that's 10% of your volume or whatever, but you still got to focus locally. Cause I mean, even Redfin, Redfin, from what I understand, like cut 40% of their realtors just because they couldn't afford them anymore.
Yeah. Right? Same with, I think Open Door.
Okay.
The same thing. So yeah, I mean, honestly, look, we are human and we have a body. Again, as long as we have the body, we can only go so far, right? So the people that you're interacting with, I miss my friends. I go to dance class a lot, and I take them online, but it's not the same, you know, to be the same space with people moving. And I don't know, I have actually been very like not into the whole like Zoom meetings and things like that. I've been like, no, I'll just wait, you know?
Yeah.
I'm engaging, but it's just not my thing.
Right. And if it's not your thing,
to see people face to face.
Oh, 100%. I mean, even like I told you before we jumped on, like I've had this idea for a podcast for well over a year. And if it keeps in my head for longer than 6-7 months, I'm like, okay, Ralph, like if it's in your head, you need to just try it, do it. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, kind of thing. Yeah. And not that it will work, because once I start something, I'm going to continue to do it. Right. That's even when I started doing my videos, like I had never done a video ever. And I'm like, you know what? I bought all the equipment. I'm like, all right, I bought all the equipment. I got to do it now. And so I appreciate you being my first guest, you know, because I really wanted this to be more of an in-person, you know, let's drink a cup of coffee. Let's maybe even drink a mixed drink for an hour and just kind of talk, you know. Like I would love, I didn't even realize, I forgot you've been in the business since 2009. For some reason I had in my head that you started like 2015 or whatever. I mean, I didn't realize it was that long. And it proves to show to get to your level and build the team, it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, it took you, 11 years, 10 years to get there.
Yeah.
But I know you got to get running. I know 420 was our cutoff and it's 419. So I do appreciate your time, Daniela, this time around. I really, really do. We're going to do this in person soon. I hope.
I hope so.
Once we get out of this, social distancing. Uchi would love it. But guys, for those of you that were watching, I don't know how many people were actually tuning in because it's on a different screen. But this is Daniela Antelo with Keller Williams Memorial.
Houston Broker Team.
The Houston Broker Team. They're one of the top teams in Houston. They have a team of 4 people, and they crank out a lot of production. They're very knowledgeable and very service oriented. That's the beauty of our business. We get to align ourselves with other people that have similar mindsets, and I'm a very service-oriented person, and as are you and your whole team, and that's why I try to align myself with that. So, Daniela, thank you so much for your time. I know you got it, and we'll do this soon. Okay, stay safe out there.
Yeah. Thank you too.
All right, take care. Bye.